Little over 16,000 pounds, empty before cargo, triple axle, and with about every flippin' feature you could even imagine short of a jacuzzi on the roof. Yeah, please don't ask if she's half-ton towable. Hey everybody, Josh RV Nerd here at Bish's RV, and my first momentum. Naturally, I would pick like the biggest, baddest cat of their lineup to look at this. This is the 397. It is large, it is in charge, it is everything. So if you've been living under a rock and you're not familiar with Momentums, this is like a Solitude luxury fifth wheel adapted to a toy hauler platform. They're actually managed by the same people at Grand Design, so they share so much DNA. This big wide body beauty, you see the generator up front. They have a really power saving air system that allows for just totally maximized airflow through this thing to keep you chilled down. I can't imagine, I'm not sure there's anywhere that you could camp in this thing that the monster air system on this wouldn't keep up with you. But what's awesome about this, and I'm gonna give a little credit to the Heartland Cyclone for this, they were really one of the first ones to make a luxury fifth wheel that just had a multi-function utility room on the back, and Momentum has taken that recipe and I think you could argue maybe taking it to the next level. That being said, it's not like Cyclone's a slouch either. The garage on this though, I don't even know if I want to call it a garage. It's just like the party room, the patio room, the Three Seasons room. It comes with its own zero gravity chairs to hang out back, complete with little Momentum pillow, of course. We are in a live display today, so it is a little bit dusty, and I've gone through and I've kind of done a once over on this, so please understand, when you take yours home, it's going to be fully cleaned. Today, if you could look past our dust a little bit, we've got a lot of really awesome stuff to cover. This is a big rig. There's a lot to cover. This is a fun one. Ain't gonna be my shortest video, but it is just my first Momentum. We got lots more coming out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to catch all the others. All right, so we're gonna get to all this luscious goodness in just a few minutes. But this is it's a beautiful luxury fifth wheel, but at the end of the day, it does have, we might call it a garage, a multi-function utility room, an exterior Three Seasons patio, or whatever you want to call it. But it kind of feels like this is where we want to focus in on first, since, it's kind of the whole focal point of the camper, otherwise you wouldn't be looking at a toy hauler. What can you fit into it? Well, with a 13-foot garage, the short answer is you can fit about any darn thing you want in here. Now, I think at this point, most consumers, especially someone who's seriously considering a Momentum, you fully understand how we have that power queen bed that can drop down above. You've got the power drop double sofas down below. Those can roll over, by the way, to form one giant mega sleeper. So one of the cool things about these is that they're good not just for toy hauling, but it can be a monster alternative bunkhouse. How many families like to bring a golf cart with them to haul the people around the campsite? That's what this is really cool for. The nice thing here is, like, I've seen a lot of toy haulers, and it's like they all have the same generic bench in the back. Well, I guess maybe not all of them, because this you can see is made with a little bit more purpose and intent. It almost kind of looks like the back seat of a big pickup, But the little kind of console armrest that pop down, that's just, little details like that are nice. Now, they're not the only ones that do it. It's a nice detail. Amazing window coverage in this. Unfortunately, all it's looking at is that yellow mustard wall over here that's just been driving me crazy all week, and just, I'm tired of looking at that wall. Anyway, you can see we've also got that Three Seasons patio wall off the back. And a quick note on this, when we get up to the roof, I'm going to talk more about this, but this has a triple 45,000 BTU air conditioning system that is a triple 15, all of which can run simultaneously on a 50 amp service or generator. Back here on the patio, I love the details. First of all, there's a couple little things that just sort of jumped out at me on this. The inclusion of the zero gravity chairs is awesome. Now, we are again in an active display, so we couldn't exactly put those rear steps down, otherwise we probably would have smashed into this bighorn behind us, and there's something about that that just didn't sit right with us. I don't know, I can't figure it out, but there you go. Once again, pardon our dust, but the good news, when you take your RV home, you won't be seeing any of that. We make sure we have everything cleaned up for you. As dumb as that sounds, not everybody does. We do that at no extra fee. Now, the whole RV basically is just one giant series of awnings. We've got a power awning over here overlooking the rear patio space. I love that even this has its own LED lighting. We've got that 3 Seasons like sliding door, screen wall. Obviously it opens up out of the way for loading. For that purpose, you see that we do have the dovetail action going on. These are, I checked the number and then I just blanked out. I believe these are 5,000 pound tested D-rings. They're mostly recessed. They do slightly pop up a little bit. I don't think, like, if you're wearing flip-flops, I don't think that's going to be a big deal. Now, you see how there's the triple post little base down there? Up in the front bedroom closet, you're going to see 3 posts. There is a table included with this that can go between those sofas. It just makes navigating the RV a little more difficult for me. Now, even back here in the garage, you have a Roku Smart TV. And that is on a drop-down swing arm. Fusion from Keystone does a lot of similar things like that. TV drops down so that, you know, you don't necessarily have to do the big, massive neck crank. Now, from these benches right here, it's maybe not the most comfortable viewing angle, but remember those zero gravity chairs? If you actually take a seat at one, this is our view. And remember that TV can drop down further. What's cool about that is you're far enough away that the up high isn't terrible, especially when the TVs drop down. But if people are coming and going, they're not really like in your way, you know? The window coverage in here is so cool because it just makes it so much more than just a garage. Let's talk some construction points. One of the cool things here, Solitude and Momentum use a 5/8 thickness one-piece floor deck up in there in the living areas. But this has more than just a living area. This has a loading area. So back here, they use 1-inch thick floor decking, and then they have a fully insulated garage floor. Now here's the thing. When you have a toy hauler with a fuel station, it is enclosed and forced air heated, radiant barrier under the living room with 12-volt tank heaters. But you can't enclose the garage area when there's a fuel station present. There's some fire code. So they had to make the floor extra thick and extra insulated so that, you know, if you were going to cold camp with this, you weren't going to freeze yourself out. And this is a full 2-bathroom model. This is not just a bath and a half. That's the thing, is this general layout, like if you just look at a series of floor plans, if they have no dimensions listed on them, it looks super familiar. But this is the Big Daddy version. Huge garage, you know, 2 bath, not bath and a half. Everything is bigger and bolder here. Now, since we're in the lower deck, look at the headroom in here. I'm 6'3" with long arms stretching out, and I still can't touch the ceiling. But check this out. Even dedicated linen space over here. I definitely don't always prefer open pockets for storage, but I also get how it's not like drawers weren't, or cabinet doors weren't exactly functional right there. It was just kind of one of those things they had to do. Also, good space around the toilet. The other thing I noticed is just like, I like how the bed, or the garage controls, like the power up down bed button, all the lights and bells and switches and whistles that have to do with this room, they're all located right here, where it just makes more sense. Now, I try to be fair and point out little critiques where I can see, or big critiques as is needed. In this case, it's only something small. So that's a nice smoky glass door. That's cool. It really helps kind of identify inside versus outside, if that makes sense, but it's not entirely private. You can still kind of see, well, you can still see through it, basically. So if you're going to use this garage, patio, room, whatever, as a sleeping space, you may want to come up with something to cover that. Now, it's not hard. You could command strip something, hang just a thin sheet down, just something to break up the line of sight. Just a little thing that I noticed. I don't know, is that a big deal to you or not? Or am I just overthinking it? Thinking too much is not something my wife accuses me of, but at work I get accused of that a lot, so. So, the thing is though, it's almost like two worlds. As fun and cool as it is back here, it's a Jasmine and Aladdin whole new world up front. And notice, I left this ladder in place on purpose so that you can see, you can totally navigate, you know, through the RV without needing to like grab the ladder, lug it up and down. I'm pretty sure the plastic fruit is not included, but thing is, guys, we're pretty easy to work with. If The only thing you need to say yes to this RV is a plate of plastic fruit. You bet your bottom dollar we're gonna get you camping. But you know, once we get back inside here, it's like we're back in a Solitude. You know, there's just none of that toy hauler, motocross, and blowtorches extreme sort of look and feel. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. It's early in the morning. I shouldn't blow my voice out yet, but it felt right, you know. Oh, over here in the seating. First of all, again, remember I described this as a Big Daddy version of this floor plan? Usually when you're looking at a layout similar to this, you'll have something like one sort of extended sofa, and you'll have like big windows on the side of the slide and then one big window in the middle. Notice this gives us double the panoramic windows, and we have a full traditional theater seat and dining setup. Again, like a normal fifth wheel. You can option into this one of those like multi-seater super duper party sofas where like every seat reclines and all of that. So you do have a choice between traditional and, I don't know, non-traditional super sofa, whatever you want to call it. Now, here's a cool thing too. Both the living room and the kitchen have carpetless floor flush slides in these. Now you're looking at me going, wait a minute, Jack. I see carpet there. It's a thing Grand Design does. They always put a tiny little thing of carpet under the sofa. You can see the slide is actually carpetless. The dining is carpetless. And by the way, that right there is a nice no knee knocker with a handy little extension leaf. But because this is such a wide body rig, even with the leaf extended, it doesn't feel like it's in the way. You know what I mean? And that is heat and massage. More of a reclining love seat, I suppose, technically, than a theater. Now, of course, we have the blackout roller shades here. With this being a hauler, it is a little bit taller. So, I mean, case in point, in case you're curious. You saw how I couldn't reach the ceiling in the shower. I'm 6'3". My head barely meets the window treatments, let alone the slide ceiling in here. I could practically do some jumping jacks in this thing if my fat butt could even jump anymore. Now we're gonna get up to that loft in just a second, but something else I wanted to showcase for you here is some stuff on the seating. This has what I call a 2+2 dining arrangement. If you're going to use this more as a couples-oriented thing, you've got two full-time chairs on the left. You could do one on the left and the right if you wanted, but then you have a pair of these big fold-out chairs on the right-hand side. But when they're all folded out, you have to really look at them to know which one's which, don't you? They did a really nice job of that. Also, whether it's just the two of you, or whether you're entertaining guests, or whether I am tripping on the stairs as I go backwards blind here and nearly took a tumble, you see that you've got a pair of floating benches as well. Now, what's cool about that is depending on what's going on, you could take those little floating benches, you could take them out here, have little extra seats. Like, they don't have to be just in the kitchen. You know, there's no rules to this. You decide, you define how this is all done. I'm gonna give you a good look at the entertainment center here. Now that TV can pivot around. I don't know that it needs to, it's not a perfect angle. Actually, let me sit at the theater love seat over here. Again, big smart TV so you can Netflix and chill. Or, if you're past that point in your relationship, you can do Amazon Prime and commitment, whatever works for you. I don't know. But the fact is, I mean, you're in the movie. And we are close enough. That definitely qualifies as a electric heating bunion burner right there. That's a footsie fryer, Tootsie toaster, whatever. Toenail toaster. I like that one. Somebody else do that. We have come up with 17 different nerdisms for this, folks, and keep them coming. I absolutely love it. Just to kind of complete the visual before we hop up to the loft, while you are sitting here at the sofa, this is kind of what things look like. One of the cool things, somebody knocks on your door, you just turn your head to the right and you're like, huh, who is that? Because that's Uncle Gary or Cousin Ricky. You want to shut the lights off real quick and pretend nobody's home. Thankfully, Uncle Gary, ever since the accident, his cognitive skills aren't quite as sharp. You can just literally be like, no one's home. And he's like, oh, dang, man, no one's home. Gotta go head home, man. You know, I don't know why. It just works every time. Now, this is a funny thing that, every toy hauler does. because they get these mattresses like from a supplier. First of all, I love the fact that the light switch is, well, hold on, this is a love-hate thing. It's an easy light switch for all the lights in the loft, but you have to climb up to get it. Now, it's kind of hard to put it on the wall over here since that's laminated, so I think they kind of did the best that they could with that. And what I was getting at, these mattresses, they all get from a supplier. They're only one specific length. So there's actually a chunk up front there that doesn't have mattress. But that also makes a good little spot to like stuff a duffel bag. And you could use this as, you know, a loft bunk if you're so inclined. Notice how you've got air vents that you can turn and shut off up there, which is nice. But you could also use that as just like storage space. Now, speaking of storage, this kitchen doesn't suck. Well, I guess first of all, I did mention the TV could pivot. I wasn't joking. That TV's so big with these giant windows, I think the neighbors could watch what you're watching. Actually, maybe keep that in mind depending on what you are watching. Great pantry space here. I love how they ran the storage all the way up to the roof. That does mean that it gets awful tall up there, and just no space wasted in here. Now, as we pivot around, you see you've got one of those big 4-burner Insignia stove oven, like big oven combos. Again, with Momentum and Solitude kind of being brothers, effectively. They share nearly identical DNA. Convection microwave over here, and kind of like Euro-style flip-up overhead latches as opposed to struts, but it accomplishes the same thing and just kind of gets stuff out of your way. You will have a choice between two 18-cubic-foot refrigerator freezers in these. We are looking at the gas and electric, which I suspect will probably be one of the more popular options on this. But which one would you go? Would you go with gas and electric or residential? There is not yet a 12-volt large enough to like fit in that space. If 12-volt was available down the line, I could see a lot of people really wanting to go to that. But like, look at all the drawer space, extra lower cabinet space. Grand Design is also awesome for this. Their fuse panels are always easy to reach, but they tuck them away where it's nice, you know. This area here is deceptive, and not like intentionally, like, we're trying to trick you. Like, they give you a nice looking aesthetic, but there's wiring and stuff in that top section, but they all have the nice big tall door, so it looks like more storage than it is, but at the same time, I don't think we're lacking on storage overall. One of the things I did really like over here, though, is the stereo unit. If you tap it, there's the master volume that controls all the volume, but you can tap it again, and you can specifically set limits, on the interior and exterior volumes separately. So if you want to play music just inside or just outside, or if the speakers aren't balanced, oh my gosh, guys. This isn't something that's often discussed, but anyone who owns a camper kind of knows this. The speakers inside and outside of an RV are almost never volume balanced. Usually, the inside massively outpowers the outside. Now, if you're lucky, a sound system will give you the choice of turning inside or outside speakers off. That's pretty normal. Maybe not if you're lucky. That's pretty normal. On the smaller, really cheap small travel trailers, sometimes you don't have that. But being able to like set separate interior and exterior volumes and then still have a master up-down where you're like, oh no, shut that down real quick. Like, it's those little things that just give you a better experience. But we're not done with the kitchen. We still got a whole island here, baby. So first of all, the sink. It's all encased in a nice solid surface countertop like you get through the whole kitchen. I love the very geometrical, angular, high-rise faucet here. But it's not a farm sink. It's not a split sink. It's a splarm sink. Oh yes, a new nerdism is born. The splarm sink. That is the worst sounding descriptor I have ever given it. Oh man, great. More drawer space over here. You saw the dedicated wastebasket. Also, you know, more outlets. So like, even you could have like a little phone charging or a tablet or something over. Like, it's just whatever you want. Extra little appliance. Ooh. This could be, I don't know, little drink station, prep station, whatever you want it to be. You could put a griddle sideways right there. Start cooking up a storm. Plus you got the stove going. Holy cow, man. You can do anything in here. I was getting ready to head upstairs and I realized there were a couple things I missed. A couple key details I want to point out, like the toe kick on the island, so that you can really stand right up next to it. You don't have to lean over and constantly have lower back pain every time you're trying to use stuff. The central vacuum system over here. If you want to get the pool cleaner kit out with the hoses and you know, you can plug it into that thing. You know when it sounds like you're in the dentist chair and they got the thing in your mouth going, and then the guy's trying to talk to you and you're like, why are you talking to me? Just clean my teeth. Anyway, sorry. Wow, squirrel. Electric dustpan, basically, because the main floor is carpetless, the slide is carpetless, the upper deck is carpetless, except there is a tiny bit strip of carpet. It's carpetless flooring. I want to make sure I specify. You can just sweep everything down, suck it on up, rawhide, be done with it. Oh, in the kitchen, it kind of goes without saying, but in the ceiling you have one of those like big XL rain sensing vent fans. And I can give you a good example of that because in the bathroom we have the exact same thing right here. Now, when I first poked my head into this bathroom, I had a little bit of a concern because, like, standing here, you look at it, you don't really see a lot of like space for towels. They did build a chunk of that in over here. Remember that space that wasn't storage in the kitchen? That's kind of what part of this is utilized for over here. I would like a shelf in there, personally, but I could find a little organizer, divider thing. The legroom in here was fantastic. Hip, elbow, shoulder room. I didn't have a problem fitting on this toilet. Similarly, this shower. The way that the shower floor is recessed to meet the main floor means that you have like full height here. And that seat that folds down, that's something that was really originally kind of pioneered in Jayco's, but I see Grand Design using it, Alliance using it. It's awesome. I love it because it just feels right, and it folds up out of the way so it's not like a tripping hazard. And I thought it was kind of crazy, actually. They've been using this kind of shower fixture in here for a little while, and then of all people, I saw the Cherokee stick and tin campers in the Black Label series, which I guess would be stick and glass, as it were. They adopted that, and I was just like, what? Just kind of funny how it works out sometimes. This is also solid surface. So many brands, when you leave the kitchen, you might drop down to a sealed edge thermofoil. In the bathroom here, they're still using solid surface. It does change to thermofoil in a couple key areas of the RV, but anywhere where you have like a major water feature, it's this. And this big sink, because that is a big sink, that is stone cast. That is rated for like up to 500 degrees. That is no joke right there. That thing gets the job done. Now, moving forward in here into the bedroom, we have, actually, let me flip the camera around for you real quick so you can see the headroom in here in the upper deck. So, like, I'm tall, I'm 6'3". Ooh. That was close, but I fit. And now, I got some pretty good space in here. Up here in the bedroom, they went with a maximum sized slide because there's nothing in this RV that is designed to be lightweight. We're obviously in dually country, and you wouldn't be unhappy hauling this with like a medium duty or something like that. And of course, if you got an old Peterbilt, that would certainly get the job done. We're really a dually minimum here. Even single wheel 1 tons pretty much need not apply just because of the payload ratings and everything else. Now we're looking at a king bed. You do have a choice of a queen bed as well. And let's look around the bed here. If you want the queen, you have more walk around space, but that's not bad. It really isn't bad. Very thick padded headboard for clumsy oxes like me. Breeze windows on both sides of the bed. The window over the bed doesn't open for airflow. I kind of call it a cyclops window, but these all still have those blackout shades here. Now let's start diving into all the bedroom storage here. One of the cool things they do at Grand Design is they don't just like block off the nose cap. You see how, like if I get down here and look at the floor, you see how they actually open the closet up into the nose cap? That allows them to get more space in here. It's a really kind of crafty design feature. Now you saw those poles at the bottom of the closet there. Again, that is Those are the support legs for the table that goes in the garage. And then we've got door number 2. Tell them what she's won, Gene. Well, they've won a trip to the wacky, wild wonderland of washer-dryer land, or an expanded closet, complete with the double-decker, well, triple-decker, double-column dresser compartment over here. And, I mean, why not just go with the third smart TV? Am I right? But the thing is, but wait, there's more. Storage below the bed, you got it. And what's kind of interesting, it has like this little shelf right here, which I almost think you could use like a jewelry drawer or something like that. Because over here on the other side of the bed, we have just additional bonus space. Basically, this is just off the back side of the shower. They had about 6 inches to play with, and they said, why waste it? Why not make that handy little, I don't know, phone charge station or something like that? So, wow, we've covered a lot. Question becomes, what can we get to with the slide closed? Traditionally, in big models like this, when you close the slides, the answer is typically not too much. However, there's a reason I take the extra time and effort to close this up, because every now and then you get surprised. Remember when I refer to this as the Big Daddy? That extra space, that extra length kind of comes in play here. Now, you don't have full fridge access, but I think you have enough that we can call that good enough for traveling. And that right there is a nice surprise to find in this one. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, if you appreciate seeing things like this. Oh my gosh, where do I even start on this thing out here? Oh man, first of all, just the fact that the nose, I mean, doesn't look like a Transformer. It doesn't look like an Autobot or a Decepticon, the nose cap. Look at that thing. It is just sharp and angular and sexy, and I like it. That is just good looking eye appeal. Holy crap. Holy crap. Hold on. 1 awning, 2 awning, 3 awnings on this thing. This thing's, it's like the battleship Momentum. It's massive. The entire thing is an awning. I love it. Oh my God. That's just the kind of over-the-top stuff I love to see. Is it necessary? No. Is it awesome? Yeah. Of course, you know, enclosed, privatized, heated docking center on the other side. Grand design is just really awesome about this, generally speaking, keeping the battery disconnect up out of the way. The TPMS basically just plugs right in there, and then the Compass Connect app, it coordinates everything. So not only can it run like slides and awnings and lights and all the stuff that every other smart system does, but you can also monitor your TPMS. Notice a little ground effect lighting down there? That's just a fun little feature they have. Back where I'm from, the high school kids with their cool cars would get together and hang out in front of Taco Bell every night with their ground effect lighting. For some reason, that was the place to be. Nice big wide door, thin shade ready, not actually including a privacy shade. To me, I mean, we got 3 awnings. We couldn't get a shade in the door, and those things are not expensive. I mean, if the only thing you dislike about this RV is it doesn't have a shade in the door, you call us. We're gonna make it happen, but it just isn't, it kind of feels like that's a little silly, right? You know, outside entertainment here with the speakers down where I like them. Even this, by the way, is a smart TV, and you know why I like that? Not so I can sit out here and watch Netflix, although if that's what you want to do, I don't care. I don't judge you. You do you. You're the one that spent all the money on it, assuming you buy it. You camp however you want to, you know? But I would hook up like music to this. Like I'd have my Spotify or something like that playing on this thing. That would be very cool to me. Also, look at this. This is why it has, like, what does this have? Like a 7,000 pound cargo capacity or whatever, something nuts on this. These are Cooper, what are they, H-rated tires? That's some pretty serious sneakers right there, kids. That's some big, big stuff. The, well, actually, double Moride CRE 3000 suspension, 6-point hydraulic auto leveling. I mean, that just kind of goes with the territory in a big guy like this. I sometimes have people ask me, why didn't they go with the stable steps here like they did in the living room? And the answer is because this is our multi-function party space back here, garage, whatever you want to call it. And you don't want the steps to flip in and smash whatever you have loaded. So that is why these steps are here. What is kind of cool though, is even though I don't have them displayed right now, we kind of looked at this earlier, you do have the steps that come off the back of the tailgate. The only thing I dislike about those is they don't really have a good place to store those in the RV, you know? And I'm hanging out over here next to the world's ugliest yellow wall, and it makes this trailer look not as good as it should. I promise you, this summer, when the weather warms back up and I get a chance to actually get on these things in normal daylight, you're gonna like what you see. The taillights here, they mount them up a little higher because it makes them more visible to other drivers, and they've got little reverse lighting elements to kind of give other people an idea what you're doing. I might go ahead and climb that ladder before it's all said and done. Now, our fueling station over here, you've got separate fuel tanks for the generator. Now, on a Solitude, your generator would be propane powered. On a Momentum, it's gas because you already have, you know, a fueling station, so it just makes more sense. They don't cross pump over to one another, but what you can do, if you're not really running like a separate type of fuel here, like you're not running a high octane, take this, gas pump it over to that, and suddenly you've doubled your generator, you know, fuel capacity, which is kind of cool. Now, as long as we're over here, we got the nice ground effect lighting, making it a little bit easier to see. And I love, by the way, look at the detail. They didn't put it just on the driver's side. They put it on both sides, but as a courtesy to other people, be cool about that at nighttime. You know, if you're camping right next to somebody, turn your outside lights off at night just as a courtesy. Underbelly, forced air heated, radiant barrier, tank heaters, all works. Now, on the inside of the RV, it's not always as obvious that you have the big triple air system. And the reason I wanted to get up here is not just to show that off, but also to explain something very cool that they're doing on this. Now, Momentum's not the only big toy hauler capable of running triple simultaneous air. Actually, the Jayco Seismic was the very first. Several other manufacturers have since cracked the code. They've all found a different way to do it. What Momentum has done here is they're using both power saver and soft start airs. And a lot of people don't realize those are two different things, but you're getting them both here. So first of all, soft start. It means that they don't need quite as much juice to start that. Okay, hold on. Wow. I'm on top of this thing inside of a building. I'm about an inch away from a suntan lamp, effectively. Oh my gosh. Anyway, why did I look directly at it just now like an idiot? Power saver. No, soft start. It just doesn't take as much juice to start up. There's a little component that basically helps offset that. I'm not going to get too far in depth on this. Power saver means once it is running, it uses less air when it's at like cruising altitude, basically. And these are Q series airs, which are quieter still. So it is quiet. It's like 45,000 BTU air system. You could run two of these things on 30 amp service. So this is a 50 amp rig. If you pull in some place, I've been to some campgrounds that operate on like a first come first serve basis, and there was a dude with a pop-up in a 50 amp spot, and I kind of just wanted to just run over his camper, but I was like, maybe there's a kid in there. That doesn't seem like a good idea. You know, I'm not willing to go to jail for that. But anyway, so our families, we were in Montana for the weekend. We had to deal with 30 amp service, and the way that one was set up, we could only run one of those air conditioners. You could have run two of them on this, which is a huge benefit. And then, you know, when you fire up the generator on this, you have full service the entire RV. I don't care where you park. Now, you may have noticed as I was walking around, there is a roof solar prep plug on here. There are solar packages available on this. It's something that if you really want to get juiced up off-grid, you can. But again, with the generator on board, you're covered pretty well, I think, either way. But, I don't know, when you're already on a big product like this, it kind of feels like, why not just do it all, right? So, I thought I'd take a chance to try these chairs real quick. Not bad at all. Thank you once again, as always, for tuning in and supporting us. You know, we're a large dealership with a lot of stores, but we are family owned. It's late. I've been doing this all day. This is my 15th video today. I am tired. So thank you so much for putting up with me through all my stuttering and stumbling and everything else. Really appreciate you folks so much. Let me know what you think about this. You know, if there's another momentum floor plan, whether it's in the G class or whatever, let me know what you would like to see next, and I'll do my best to try to make that happen. As those opportunities present to me, I'm really letting you folks guide me along the way. So take care, stay safe, have fun. Happy camping, everyone. I'm gonna take a nap. Probably not. I want to keep my job.